Welcome to this segment by Leadership Mode Initiative. Of course, I'm Dr. Christian Harrison and the founder of Leadership Mode. I know it has been a very dire situation in the world at the moment, and for most students, you're all going back to school. Some of you are already in school already, and with the COVID-19 pandemic, it's changed a lot of things. Of course, a lot of people are not happy that they're home at the moment, but one thing has become a common denominator, and that's what I always emphasize: that leadership has become much more important, especially in today's world. During the handling of this pandemic, it's so important that we know much more about effective leadership. And that's the reason for the leadership mode. That's the reason for the leadership mode initiative. And in looking at leadership, we have looked at what leadership is. But today, we'll be looking at the attributes of a leader, the traits of a leader. And one key trait we'll be looking at within this segment is integrity. So I will start with this. How many of you have lied before? If you have, raise up your hand. Of course, I can see your hands. So some of you might raise up your hand, some of you might not. The funny thing is, most people that don't raise up their hand are likely the ones that have even lied much more. But regardless of that, when people will ask, okay, is it possible not to lie? And that is one of the most important parts of leadership, or the most important traits of leadership, is what we call integrity. Integrity is very important. Integrity emerged from a Latin word called integritas. When you hear Latin words like that, most of the big things are usually Latin or from Greek. But that word means complete. That word means whole. And for me, integrity means or depicts honesty. It means somebody that has strong moral principles and values. And that is one of the things that is so important in every leader. Every leader needs to have integrity. Every leader needs to have strong moral principles. Think of a friend that you have, and most of the time your friend tells you, oh, the sky is blue. And that particular friend, every time he tells you that, you want to go back and check whether the sky is really blue. What does that mean? It means that person does not have integrity. That person is not honest. And it's so important that you have integrity, because when you don't have integrity, it you would not have trust. People will not trust you. If you're going to be a leader, people need to believe in you. People need to trust you. And those people that don't have integrity, they don't get trust by people. People are not happy to follow them because people don't believe in them. They don't stick to their words. They don't stick to what they say. And in leadership, you need people to believe in you. You need people to trust you. And integrity is so important in getting that trust. Think of an example for all of you. A good example is you have a friend, you promised him that you're going to study with him and or her, and somehow an opportunity comes and you decide to go and study alone. What does that say? It means you broke your promise. It means you didn't do what you promised you would do. And it means that you don't have integrity at that point. So integrity is that difficult. Most of the time, it might not come easy, but you need to stick to your words. Your words have to be your bond. Those people that have integrity, they stick to what they say, even when it's difficult, even when it's hard. They still believe that they have to do what they are meant to do. They have strong moral principles. That's the problem with most countries today. That's the problem with our country as well. We need to ensure that the value system gets better, and integrity is so important. A very good example is one that most of you would know. And his name, of course, is late, but his name is Nelson Mandela. When Nelson Mandela died, the world stood still. Why did the world stand still? Because this man spent 27 years in prison. He was the first black president of South America of South Africa, and he spent 27 years in prison because he believed in a cause. And the cause was going against apartheid. He believed that the blacks should be treated in the right way. And he spent 27 years believing that he refused to change his principles. He spent 27 years in prison. That is the height of integrity. He suffered for what he believes in. He had strong moral values, strong moral principles. And for you to be a great leader, you need to have strong moral principles. You need to be strong. You need to know that, yes, these are the things I stand for. And what I'll be asking you is this. In order for you to develop your integrity, there are three key questions that you need to ask yourself. First, Is there any excuse to lie? Second, do you always say things so that people will be happy? And thirdly, is it important for you to cut corners to be a leader? If these three questions I asked you, you said yes to them, then it means that you need to develop your integrity. You need to have more integrity and be more honest. And the only way you can do this is by trying to improve yourself, is by ensuring that telling yourself, no, I'm going to have integrity. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to ensure I don't give excuses. There is no excuse to lie. You don't need to say things that make everybody happy. People are not going to be happy every time. And finally, you don't have to cut corners to be a great leader. You can do the right thing. And that is very, very important. Finally, most people say that honesty is the best policy. To me, honesty is not just the best policy, it's the only policy. There are not many policies. There's only one policy, and that is integrity. So if you have integrity, there is only one policy. So aspire to have integrity, and the world would be a better place. Thank you, and we'll see during the next segment where we'll be looking at more traits of a leader.